This is Danica Wilson, and I'm here to explain the concept of cross-extension reflex. This is Bob. His little brother Sam left his Legos out on the floor. Sadly, Bob did not see the Legos in front of him, and he stepped on one right in the middle of his left foot. After taking Primack's Anatomy and Physiology course, Bob knows exactly how his body will react to this excruciating pain, and how the cross-extension reflex will affect his quick response. These stretch, tendon, and withdrawal reflexes involve ipsilateral reflex arcs, ipsi meaning the same and lateral meaning side. These sensory stimulus and the motor response occur on the same side of the body, which is the most common form of reflexes in the entire human body. But Bob knows that the cross-extensor reflex involves a contralateral reflex arc, contra meaning opposite, because the motor response occurs on the opposite side of the stimulus. The reason this was named crossed extensor reflex is because it will stimulate on the opposite side of the pain from the Lego. Take Bob, for example. When he steps on Sam's Lego with his left foot, the cross-extensor reflex comes into play when his right leg is stabilized to keep him from falling over while he screams in pain. The cross-extensor reflex complements the flexor reflex, and the two occur simultaneously. When Bob steps on a Lego, while the flexor reflex muscles pull the affected foot away from the ground, the cross-extensor reflex straightens the other leg to support his body weight. In the cross-extensor reflex, the axons of the inner neurons responding to the pain will cross to the other side of the spinal cord and stimulate motor neurons that control the extensor muscles of the uninjured leg. As a result, the pain receptors will communicate to the spinal cord, allowing Bob's opposite leg to straighten to support his shifting weight. As a reflex movement gets underway, antagonistic reflexes are inhibited. The dorsal root ganglion is a peripheral nervous system ganglion containing the cell bodies of a sensory neuron. This neuron contains an axon that has split into two branches. One branch runs to the periphery and the other to the spinal cord. A pair of ventral roots contains the axons of motor neurons that extend into the periphery to control somatic and visceral effectors. As interneurons are synapsed by sensory neuron, in their flexor withdrawal reflex, some cross the midline of spinal cord and exit on the other side. Polysynaptic reflexes range in complexity from a simple tendon reflex to the complex and variable reflexes associated with standing, walking, and running. Reverberating circuits use positive feedback to ensure that the movement lasts long enough to be effective, all without motor commands from higher centers of the brain. With the process of the cross-extensor reflex, Bob can now stay balanced as he pulls his ipsilateral leg up and away from the harmful Lego. After he has finished screaming off the pain, he is now able to tell his little brother to pick up after himself before these Legos decide to cause any more pain.